peak there. Let me turn your gain down just a little bit.
Peak Lumber and Plywood.
Peak Lumber and Plywood. Peak the member of Funhouse, which
Granite
is a cool YouTube
Peak.
channel. Here's the dream of the YouTube channel, is to be big enough where we can say, friend of the show, Peak from Funhouse, or friend of the show, Elise Willems. We can't do that now because we don't have YouTube friends. But eventually we'll have YouTube friends.
Oh, definitely. Well,
Can we say, we could say right now, kind of, friend of the show, Andy Cortez.
Yeah.
We could kind of say that.
When do we play the Spurs?
It's probably a long time from now.
We play them twice a year, so any day.
Any day now. Do you know when it is?
Let me go to my calendar.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bucked Up, Possibly Entertainment's post-game Bucks podcast. I am your host, Nick Schneider, alongside the real deal, John Monk. Today, we destroyed the Kings, but that doesn't take away from some of the things we need to talk about. We're back from our holiday break. We apologize for missing the episodes we missed. There are good reasons for missing them.
Yeah, I apologize. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We missed it.
Great post-Thanksgiving. Missed the Suns win. Missed the Jazz loss. But that's okay. Those don't need to be talked about.
Jazz game you wouldn't
Tonight
want to do anything with anyway.
Yeah, honestly, who would want to ever talk about that ever again?
Put that behind us.
Except for fellow Fire Kid fans like myself, which we'll get into. Which we'll get into. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, like the channel, comment in the video. Otherwise, if you prefer to listen to your podcasts, you can subscribe on your audio platform or review us on your audio platform, which would be much appreciated. John, we just watched the Bucks dismantle the Kings. Wasn't pretty for the Kings. It was real pretty for us.
This was a game where, a Bucks 50 win team, you expect to dominate against the Kings. And this is what I expect the team
Bucks to play.
Yep. And
we should keep talking over each other for the entire podcast.
I would love that.
I would love it so much. I think this sounds great, and this is going to look awesome.
People would really love that.
John, what did you take away from the Kings win, or the Bucks win over the Kings? Anything at all?
Well, I think Kidd stepped up to the challenge and coached a hell of a game.
That's the big story.
It was against the Kings.
Big picture, Jason Kidd shit. Overall, though, performances, is there anything you want to go over? Because big topic of the day, Jason Kidd. That is what we have to really talk about.
Well, the last 2 days after the Jazz loss.
But let's get over the performances quick. Let's go over, because we blew them out. It wasn't even close. It was a fun game to watch. We played great.
We played shot early the ball in the shot clock. Great.
Shot the ball great. Played early in the shot clock. Pushed the pace. Played great defense. All the complaints you usually have about Bucks basketball, we're not there tonight.
Lots of good passing. I see 26 assists again.
Huge.
Well, not again,
awesome.
I should say, but.
If we're going to be a great team, we need to be passing the shit out of the ball.
Yep, definitely.
Great performance from Giannis. He looked aggressive all game, but in a smart way. He was taking great shots. Hit a three. Looked great. Chris Middleton, kind of not really there. Also really sick. So excuses.
He still had a few threes, I think.
Hit a couple threes. Played really hard. It was a solid night from Chris.
Giannis played 26 minutes only.
Yep. And what was his stat line?
32, 5 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals, 1 block.
He did that in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Great night for Giannis.
Middleton, 24 minutes, much less than his average, 12 points. Middleton night again.
Yeah.
Middleton
solid. He was sick.
Yeah.
He was a game time decision.
Yep.
He decided to play it, when it came to it. But he played fine. He played within his game, and he got to sit for most of the game because, he was sick.
Yeah, right. And we didn't, necessarily really need him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were worried that we might going into the game. But we came to play. Eric Bledsoe played great. Looks like he might have his legs under him. Yep. He hit 3 triples tonight.
Yep, 21 points, 5
played
and 5.
Really well. Great shots,
steals.
5 of 5. Shooting?
No, 5 boards, 5 assists. But he did shoot very well.
Shot very well.
Well, actually 4 for 8, which is very
4
good.
for 8. It's what I expect.
Yeah.
Very, very good from Eric Bledsoe. To hit 3 threes, which is the big takeaway.
Actually, never mind. 7 of 10 he shot.
7 of 10.
Even better.
3 threes, though, is the big takeaway. Maybe he has his legs under him. He's playing really well. He played really well tonight. He was passing the ball really well. But what was most impressive with Eric Bledsoe tonight, I think, is that he was playing within the offense.
Oh, he had some great passes.
Some great passes, but he didn't ever look like he was trying to take over and be the guy. He always seemed to be a piece of a cog in the machine, if that makes sense. Everything was kind of rolling with him in the court. Whereas before, he always added so much to the court, but it seemed to be a little stagnant with the ball in his hands because he was trying to do everything himself. Tonight, it looked like he was another piece of the puzzle instead of the piece.
Yep, definitely.
Which was cool. I really liked his performance tonight. Is there anyone else who stood out to you? Jason Terry got big minutes. Of course he did. We were playing the Kings. Yep. He played right into the crowd. If you don't know, Jason Terry was traded to the Kings from the Nets and didn't play a single game. And Kings fans hate him for it, and then was traded away later that season. Kings fans hate him.
Working on his knee or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So whenever we go back to Sacramento, he plays it up. He always plays. He plays fun. Yeah, he has a fun time. It's fun, and Kings fans hate it. And it was a lot of fun again tonight. He was playing into the crowd, and it was fun that it was a big enough blowout where that didn't matter, where we could have played with the crowd and had a good time.
Which of this Kings team and our Bucks team, I expect this. Really all the time.
But usually with a Jason Kidd coach, actually with any Bucks team, I do not expect us to have a blowout win like this against a bad team.
Many years, Bucks, yeah, that's Bucks.
But we'll get into that. Is there anyone else that stands out to you performance-wise?
Well, honestly, I thought the whole team played very well.
Absolutely. We played within ourselves. We played smart.
I thought Liggins played good. I don't think he shot the ball good at all. I don't know.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, 2 points. But that's not as,
I think one of the things to take away from the team was talking a lot.
Yeah.
Which is huge. It helps any team. Even in high school, they tell you, make sure you're talking.
That's basketball.
It's fundamental.
That's basketball.
Make sure you're talking. As long as you're talking, you're involved and you're engaged. So that was huge. I think that helped a lot. We pushed the pace a lot, which helped a lot. And we were passing the shit out of the ball, which doesn't do anything but help, you know?
Even on transition, everywhere we were getting the good shots.
And the Kings didn't have a great game either. They had just come off beating the Warriors.
Yep. So that helps us, but...
Yeah.
Still, it's an NBA game, and I thought the Bucks responded to last Saturday very well tonight.
Exactly. Last Saturday, speaking of transition, Jason Kidd on the hot seat.
Yeah, he definitely got a talking to. I think that's true.
I think so too. So lately, if you don't know, Jason Kidd has been the Bucks coach for 4 years. One of those years has been one of those years he's overachieved. The other years it's debatable whether he's achieved what he should with the talent or less so. I would argue for all 3 of those years, less than he probably should have.
Well, his first year, he definitely overachieved.
Absolutely, 100%.
His second year was a little bit of a letdown. A lot of people blame that on
the schemes. A lot of people blame a lot of this on
definitely
his lack of adjustments during game. A lot of people, blame it on his rotations. He does a lot of things very poorly. He does some things very well, player development, things like that. But the big argument of the day is of the week is the hashtag #FireKid argument that people all over Bucks fandom have been running away with.
Definitely the majority, I would say.
I would say that, a majority of fans are sick and tired of Jason Kidd at this point.
I'm not.
You're one of the few. But at the end of the day, a lot of what it comes down to is Jason Kidd's lack of evolution with the team. We've run into some of the same problems over and over again, and Bucks fans are sick of it. And I don't blame you. I
don't blame you either.
Do not blame you for being upset and angry. But what I will say is this. We've seen over the years many times, not even over the years, but it's been fairly recently, big corporations, big companies listening to their fan base and changing things accordingly. Most recently, you saw this with Electronic Arts and Battlefront 2. If you don't know the situation, Battlefront 2 released with a lot of microtransactions in their video game and a lot of pay-to-win aspects. So things that happen in the you could pay real money for things in the game that would make you better at the game. And so clearly people were the community of the game was very upset and was very vocal about how upset they were. And they went into the game and they've pulled everything back. And there's a lot of controversy about why that is, but at the end of the day, they pulled all that back, and it's happened multiple times recently. So my point is the power of social media and the power as a consumer is extremely powerful. It means you can change things from a consumer standpoint, but what you have to remember is you have to be respectful about it. You have to do it the right way.
Yep.
So when Alex Lasry is on Twitter, you need to treat him with the utmost respect when you're talking about this kind of stuff. Because let's be honest, we know why Alex Lasry is on Twitter. He's going to be on Twitter anyway, but he's interacting with Bucks fans because I guarantee he goes into some meetings with his father and other people in the Bucks organization, and he tells them what the people are thinking. Not that I think it plays directly into what they're doing, but it's a factor.
It has a part
it's a
to
factor.
Yes, definitely.
And I think that's part of his role. And so that's it is important to talk to Alex about this kind of stuff, but it's also important to treat him with the utmost respect at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want to be a shithead. You are just a fan.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people on Twitter being a shithead about this right now.
Oh, I've seen that over the years. Yeah.
And I agree to a very large extent with the Fire Kid movement. But it's important that if we're going to keep fighting this fight to get Kid out of the position, that we do it with the utmost respect and care while still fighting the good fight. Would you agree?
Well, first of all, I don't want to fire Kid yet.
Right. But that is a very powerful movement right now.
Very popular.
Probably the biggest movement in all of Bucks Twitter.
Yes,
in all of Bucks fandom right now.
Have your opinion, express your opinion, do exactly what you want. But as you said, yes, be respectful.
Be respectful about it, because 100%. That's the thing that happened with the Battlefront 2 fiasco. Is a lot of people were sending death threats to developers and things like that, and that's unacceptable.
When it comes on,
and I know Bucks fans are better than that, but in the heat of the moment, you get caught up in things like that. We're better than that. We can be better than that, and I expect us to be better than that. Mm-hmm. But let the Fire Kid movement go on as long as they want it to go on.
Well, express your opinion.
If this is something that's important to you, keep pushing it. Keep pushing it, because that's how you enact change as a fan.
Yeah, say your opinion.
Exactly.
I love it.
And I think it's totally possible that is a real thing being taken into consideration. Because at the end of the day, you are what's driving their profits. They care about what you think and what you feel. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you're important just as much as any other factor in the Fire Kid movement. Mm-hmm. So,
well, fans say a lot. They really do. But
they mean
at the end of the day, yeah, they really do. At the end of the day, you're still only a fan, but you do have some say. So,
agreed. Now, John, it seems as if after the Jazz game, Jason Kidd either A, knew his butt was on the line when it comes to the coaching position, because he was awful during the Jazz game.
The Jazz game,
and he has been awful a lot this season. But
bad, I would say. Yeah,
he was horrible during the Jazz game.
The Jazz game, I would put off.
Rotations were awful. He always seems to call a timeout like a minute or two too late. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand the momentum of the game.
To a point, definitely. Yeah.
He seems to have gotten the message loud and clear. Whether it was a phone call from Wes Edens, which I think is very possible. I think it's totally possible that after that game, Edens called him and said, "Hey, get your shit together. I don't know how long I can keep you in this position." Or he understands the situation, which is also very possible, that people are not happy. Because even during the post-game interview you could see yesterday, the media were asking questions about his defensive scheme.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like, they know
Kid knows what's going on.
Absolutely. So tonight, it was interesting to see him take a more active role as a coach. He was very animated, the most animated he's been all season, yelling at players, standing up, orchestrating the defense and offense from the bench. It was interesting to see this kind of reaction so close after the explosion
of Saturday.
Right?
Yeah, that's what we were saying during the game. We were saying during the game we could hear Kid on TV saying "move, foul." He's been yelling. Yeah, you could hear him on TV pretty clearly, actually.
Absolutely.
So he was definitely involved. He was standing a lot of the game. He was all over the place for parts of it. Towards the end, he didn't do anything.
When we were up by 30, I think it was kind of.
He kind of figured, we'll take the win.
Time to settle down.
But no, I was very impressed with Kid tonight, actually, with how he responded after Saturday, and the team, of course. The team has a lot to do with it, but.
Well, yeah, it's not just Jason Kidd, because we came out with a lot of, as Jason Kidd likes to say, energy and effort.
Yep.
But at the same time, a lot of that comes down to Kidd. You can complain about energy and effort all you want, but a lot of that is on the coach to inspire that kind of play among your players. And we definitely came out like that tonight. And I didn't see one trap tonight. I don't know about you.
I didn't either.
I didn't see anyone trap a single person tonight.
No, he definitely did quit that for tonight.
So I'm willing to let off for a moment and let Jason Kidd try to simplify the defense, to relax his scheme, or to figure out things in a different way. For right now, at the moment, I'm off the Fire Kid bandwagon. I know it's reactionary. We always complain about how reactionary Bucks
That's how Wisconsin
media
fans
is.
are.
Right.
Not just Bucks, but Wisconsin fans. Very
But
reactionary.
at the same time, tonight he's earned it. Tonight he's earned me until next game to get off for a little bit, just to see how he handles it long term. Because I think that's the real question here is how is he going to handle it long term?
Oh yeah. Well, Thursday I think we got the Blazers, and it's going to be a good test to see how we come out defensively. Are a good team.
But I think it's really powerful for anyone. If you were in your job and you're a lumber inspector and your boss, or that there is a much better lumber inspector than you just sitting around looking for a job, like you are going to work much harder.
Oh, definitely.
Just to keep your job. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a similar thing with Jason Kidd now with the news that David Fizdale has been fired from Memphis.
Yep.
Phenomenal coach. Seems like an odd firing. We don't know the full story yet, but Jason Kidd has got to be scared.
Well, maybe scared, but I wouldn't know if I'd put scared as a word, but
no,
definitely motivated.
Absolutely, to keep his job.
I think yes.
Fine, because if the Bucks wanted to, they could upgrade right now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think so. Yeah.
So he has to find a way, and I think
he is gonna. That's why I think this is.
I think it's very possible because you could tell even in Brooklyn when he knew he was on the way out.
Yeah,
he was trying to figure things out, fix things, change the way he was, and I think it's very possible again. For all we know, John, and I think it's very possible because the players seemed very upbeat, very happy in the latest practice. In the videos they were sending at Cal and stuff.
The pregame show tonight,
everyone
you never know, but
exactly, you don't know
the ins and outs. But yeah, the way it looks
as if, and if this is just a guess here, I have no insider information whatsoever. But if I were a betting man, I would say Jason Kidd sat down with Eric Bledsoe, Giannis, Thon, whoever else he needed to sit down with and said, "All right,
meeting, yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going wrong, what you don't like." Because clearly Giannis was unhappy with the coaching staff. I don't care what he has to say later in the interviews or whatever about Sweeney. He was pissed about the coaching staff.
You
don't just do that because you're mad.
But
you don't just tell a coach you're gonna F him up.
No,
because of the calls you're getting there. He had a problem with the coaching staff.
Yeah,
and I think that's something that happened during that meeting that I'm assuming happened. Changed his thought process, or else the interviews he had with Sweeney wouldn't have went like that. They would not have. I imagine that they are now coexisting much better.
And Sweeney's a defensive guy, so I think Giannis had troubles and problems with how the defense was being ran.
Probably.
That's with Kidd as well, too.
And notice how the defense was ran tonight. Much differently tonight.
Yep.
And I think that's an important takeaway from tonight.
Definitely.
Is to watch this game and think, okay, great. But also watch next game and the game after and the game after that and see if they are still, running the defenses the way that they're running it.
Yeah, the game I'm most looking forward to is Saturday night against the Kings because that's who we just played the first day after the Terrible Jazz game.
Right,
see how the Kings react to how we coach tonight and see how the Bucks react.
Absolutely.
That's back-to-back game, and not technically back-to-back, but within the same week here. That's tough games for NBA teams.
Absolutely, and they should be able to learn from exactly. It's a coaching showcase.
That's how playoffs are. That's how
a good team like the Bucks should have a coach who can outcoach.
We should be able to win that game 2 out of 2 times.
Yeah. Absolutely.
With the team we have. So that's the game I'm looking forward to a lot of Saturday night.
Yep, absolutely. We do have the Blazers
Thursday beforehand,
night, which is another big game. That's a game that we should win.
We got to go out and take
it, and we have to go out and take it. We have to play our game and actually take it. And I think, as fun as tonight was, and as thought-provoking as tonight was, tomorrow is Thursday is Jason Kidd's test.
Yes.
Thursday is when Jason Kidd needs to really show that he's committed to making the right kind of changes and moves to be a real NBA team. Because at the end of the day, John, I don't think that Jason Kidd's end goal is to be a head coach. I don't think he has any desire to be a head coach, but I think that this is his way into getting
front office,
exactly. And so I think that what he's trying to do is keep his job as long as he can to get into a bigger role.
Oh yeah, he's always wanted a higher up position anyway.
So that's my only concern is that going in, how much of this is keep my job time to really coach, keep my job, and then coast. Keep my job time to keep my job.
Yeah, that's another thing. If the Bucks were to go on a run, that'd be another interesting thing to see is how they respond to that.
Absolutely. So it's interesting to watch with Jason Kidd. Is there anything you take away from Giannis yelling at Sweeney? We didn't really talk about it a whole lot since we missed that episode. But Giannis, if you don't know, had told assistant coach Sean Sweeney during the game against the Jazz that he would F him up multiple times, and Tony Snell had to hold him back.
Yeah, and Delhi was Sweeney. Yeah.
What are your takeaways there?
Well, it was a heat of the moment, of course, but you generally don't see that much derogatory
aggression in derogatory terms. Yeah, against.
I mean, you see coaches and great players get into it, but not to that extent. For example,
DeMarcus Cousins with the Kings hated George Karl, and he's very open about it. He could not stand George Karl.
I don't think Karl's a good coach.
Yeah. I had never seen him swear, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody will find some footage of it. Maybe it did happen. Yeah, but I don't remember an incident where DeMarcus Cousins had sworn at George Karl in the middle of a game.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's instances, on practices and stuff like that no one ever talks or knows about.
Exactly.
I know LeBron had stunts with coaches before. Great players do.
Right.
But
on national TV, in the middle of a game to your coaching staff, it's weird. It's a very weird. It's not necessarily a bad look because I think Giannis has every right to be pissed about the way things are going. But it's a weird situation because everything we've been led to believe so far, Giannis and Sweeney are very close.
Oh, they work out every day, yeah.
But is this a forced thing? Is Giannis being forced to work out with Sweeney every day by the Bucks, or is it a?
That's a good question.
Do they have a real relationship? We don't know the actual details. From what Giannis says, is they are actually very close and they're like family. But how much of that is PR speak? How much of that is Giannis? How are we going to get? How much of this is Giannis had to sit down with the PR guy and say, okay, Giannis,
you got to say this.
Here's the thing. It doesn't look great for you right now. So we need to get as many interviews as we can, and you need to talk about how much you love Sean Sweeney and how close you guys are and how much you get along, and this is just what you do, okay? And so how much of this is PR speak? How much of this is Giannis? Exactly.
Because Giannis knew he was going to get asked that question after
Absolutely. That must have been the only thing on his mind all night. And Giannis, very humble, very good dude. Mm-hmm. This isn't the kind of thing you usually see him doing. I'm sure he wanted to get himself out of it as much as the Bucks wanted to get out of the situation.
But when he did that to Sweeney, I think it was a combination of the non-calls because it was right after a couple of non-calls.
100%. It was a build-up of frustration.
And the defense that was not at all working that night.
Right.
The coaching,
but the fact of the matter is he took it out on his assistant coach and the person who was, and that's what's interesting. I don't know the real takeaway from that right now. I don't know if it is a strained relationship yet. We'll have to wait and see how the season progresses, and whether Jason Kidd keeps his head coaching job. I think that's a big part of it, and other things. But we'll see how it goes. I think it's just something to keep an eye on right now.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Tonight, and there's no problem whatsoever.
But I think this
there's only one game after it.
If this game is big for anyone, it's Bucks front office because they were in damage control mode after the Jazz game. John Horst had to go on the radio and do an interview.
They were busy last couple
was
days.
All over Twitter,
to defend themselves.
Trying to defend themselves, trying to figure out exactly
where
they stood.
The Wednesday night, the Suns game, that wasn't special at all. No. We won in overtime. That was nothing.
The Suns,
who
have overperformed this season, but they're still the Suns.
Yeah, and we're a 50 going to be a 50-win team. Hopefully, I still think
Jason
Kidd
says we're going to be a top 10 defense too, and that's not even possible.
Well,
with that scheme, it's not even. If we play defense like we did tonight, every night,
that's if he's got to change his ways.
If he can change his ways, maybe it's possible.
I think
but
he can.
Running that scheme, I hope so, man. I really hope so. It's going to be. This is a really fascinating time to be a Bucks fan.
I really hope he does. That way, at the end of the season, I can say, "Be patient."
It's a fascinating time to be a Bucks fan because there's so many camps that are absolutely in the right. There's the camp that I'm in. I would say. That is 100% in the I am sick and tired of the Bucks being mediocre and fighting for a playoff spot. We have the talent right now to be great. Why aren't we? But then there's also the very valid you have to give it time. Team needs time to gel. Jabari's not even back. That's a super valid argument. And I think there are multiple other value. It's an interesting time to be a Bucks fan because there's so many different perspectives to take this team at. And I'm not really sure what we are yet.
Look, I mean, technically, it's still November. I think there's more than enough time.
Season left.
I mean, it's 20. The time you want to be playing your best ball is end of March into April.
100%.
And if you're going to have troubles in the season, this is by far the time to do it.
Right, but the issue is, and I think we talked about this before, is a lot of the issues that we're seeing this season are persisting from seasons prior. So when do we get over these issues? When is that?
This is the season you think we kind of move above that.
I agree.
Because we're
consistency, everyone staying together, everyone being able to work out the problems.
Well, this
together.
is our first year after a year being together. We didn't make much off-season moves at all. Like we've talked earlier before, but
barely anything.
So this is the season we thought we could move past that and become a pretty damn good team. Which so far it's not showing it, but
we'll see.
It's like I said, it's November.
A lot of season left.
That's why, there's so much time.
But there are things to be concerned about as a Bucs fan.
Definitely. But there's so much time to move on, and you're gonna go on a run. I mean, 5-10 games away from here, we could be saying we're gonna be that.
What were we thinking?
Yep.
How reactionary were we?
Yep. That's exactly what I'm thinking, and.
I hope so.
The schedule, I mean, I think we got the Celtics coming up, but besides that, we have a decent schedule coming up here.
Right, and the Celtics who aren't as hot as they
Exactly.
were.
So I'm pretty sure we'll be pretty, 5-10 episodes later, we're going to be thinking we're fine. And I think we're fine right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's red alert time. I don't think it's DEFCON 5
Oh,
time.
definitely not, no.
But it's certainly...
Because we got the Blazers, the Kings.
time,
Oh, yeah,
definitely. Again.
More
That's
problems,
the problem with the Jazz game.
Oh, the Jazz was bad.
Oh, my God, we're awful. We need to tank. That wasn't the problem.
No,
the problem was
disappointment.
How is this happening still?
Yep.
How are we still going through these same things still? That's almost more annoying than being awful. Because we're on the precipice of being great. We're right there. We can reach out and grab it. Yeah. But what's keeping us back? And I think the unanimous decision is Jason Kidd.
Not just Kidd, the coaching. Kidd and the coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching staff. Yes, I agree.
It's Kidd's coaching staff.
Yes. Yeah, so far. But a lot of season left. But this is the season they got to go above and beyond, I think. And if this is their last chance to do it, yes. If they don't get to near 50 wins or 50 wins, then they're going to have to go.
I agree.
Because the team we have a very good team, especially in the Eastern Conference.
Really talented.
Yes.
Talented front to toe. Mm-hmm. And even our bench... Brogdon playing on the bench,
not a bad bench
Jabari
at all.
coming back should be pretty good.
Yeah, we should be.
Especially when Telly gets back. As much as we hate Teletovic, he can shoot the ball sometimes every once in a while. So
and he pulls defenders out. And
exactly.
He
helps spacing a lot.
Yes.
John, what else have you been up to?
Lately, not much. No. How about you?
Not a thing. We watched the game on your new 4K TV.
Yeah,
That's
wonderful.
Pretty nice.
Really,
if only they would start actually showing games in 4K though. They don't.
I'm really looking forward to the 4K
expensive
stuff.
Thing, but
sooner or later, it's going to be all over the place, and
I'm excited.
All of the TV ready for it.
Well, this has been Bucked Up, Possibly Entertainment's post-game Bucks podcast. I'm your host, Nick Schneider. You can follow me on Twitter at PE_N_Schneider. You can follow him on Twitter at JohnMonk1. You can follow us on Twitter as a company at Possibly ENT. If you like the show, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, comment on the video if you have something to say. Otherwise, if you don't like watching your podcast, which is understandable, we're available on podcast services around the world, including iTunes. So make sure you subscribe to us. Review the show if you get a chance. That'd help a lot, actually. Actually, I'd like to make a plea right now. If everyone who listens to the show just subscribed and reviewed it, it would mean a lot. Like, it would help us a whole heck of a lot. So make sure you do that.
This is the last chance. I'm going to shave this beard here probably tomorrow.
Yeah, so
last chance you can see this for a while.
Grab all the screenshot as much as you can.
This looks good.
If you're on audio, make sure you listen. John, can you brush your beard up against the mic quick? It's the last you're ever going to hear of that. This has been Bucked Up. We'll see you next time. We'll see you on Friday.
Friday at noon.
Friday at noon. We'll see you.